from the bottom of this building. And by doing that, since I've already indicated that the building is twice as tall as the player, I've also can know that it will take twice as many steps to get up to the pole all the way to the top of the building. And currently, right now, the player should be able to just walk up to the roof. All right, show the final stage. So we went ahead and created a playground of sorts for us to demonstrate all of the things that we've already showed you and created earlier in this demonstration. Go ahead and have some fun and click around, and I'll keep talking about Unity shoots and things, and maybe show them that really cool basketball thing. So we've created a bowling situation, because when you saw our first shot, it looked like a bowling ball, so we ran with that and made some bowling pins. And we also created a score, but I'm not...
yeah, here it is.
Oh, there we go. So we have a crosshair on the screen and a score counter, so if he makes it, he should get a score. There we go. And so we've created particles to make it fun and interesting. It's always important to stay motivated during the development, so you can have fun to stay motivated, but sometimes something like the particles that seem silly may not be in the final patch, and that is a very common thing that is done to make sure that you're having fun in the process. He has created a shooting range of sorts, and so he's adjusting values to make that possible. Spawn some enemies and show them that really cool trick. So he's made it possible to create a bunch of AI on the fly to test the pathing of the level and to make sure that the combat works. What?
And the rain is coming.
Oh yeah, there we go. So he's going to shoot some and just have some fun pushing them around. You may not have noticed, but this model that we are using was from a 3D modeling student at this school. It is a probe from StarCraft 2, which is a game made by Blizzard. But there's a fan, and this is basically fan art, and we, as a benefit of networking here at the school, we got 3D Modeler to make us a model for this demonstration. And then also as proof of networking and the benefit of that and social skills, me and Barry worked together on this presentation. And so that has been really, really fun working here. And I believe that concludes our demonstration. Are there any questions? Yes?
So, what we were talking about way earlier, so a game designer designs, he sort of plans out the game, right? Does that mean story-wise, or does that mean script as well, or is that a writer?
So, well, script as in spoken dialogue between characters in the game, or script as in, like, coding?
Dialogue.
Oh, so you can have a base level of script applied into a game as a narrative creator, the creator of the story, but there are people who specialize in story creation and explaining or creating really special situations for that. So you can provide the fundamental aspects of what you want the game to explore, conversations that you want to happen, and then people that specialize in that can expand on that and make it more enhanced. Yes?
If I wanted to go into like a concept art and actually like draw the characters for like a game, would this be in this field or a different field?
So, yeah, we have concept art within the game development department of the Academy of Art. It is a specialized thing. I've referenced these walls quite a bit for their pictures. These are concept art, or they are complete 3D models, but some of them are just concept art. That right there, with the vehicle and the booster behind it, that's concept art. That's not a 3D model. Yeah, so you're in the right area if that's something that you wanted to focus on. Yes?
I know this is like very basic, but if I wanted to get like more in depth with like the character, the way he looks, would I do that myself as a game designer, or would I go to the concept artist and be like, hey, this is I want this character to look like this, and then they would kind of.
It's a really good question. So he asked if he wanted to push further the concept art of his characters, would he pass that on as a game designer himself? You can explore and provide as much information to concept artists as you want. It is always really helpful as a game designer to know all of that and be able to express the ideas that you have in your head. There are people, like as we've noticed, that specialize in concept art. So you can more freely focus on the game design aspect if you wanted, and then pass on the concept art, but it's also always beneficial to provide as much information about what you expect things to look like as a game designer.
Can a game designer be a concept artist?
Yes, actually, kind of recent knowledge for me is the better that I know how to draw, the better it makes me as a game designer. So there is a class called Visual Communication here that teaches you a lot of the fundamentals of using Photoshop and being able to create certain things. I started, like I've mentioned, stick figures, and I bumped up to using some shading and making depth in my images, using perspective and isometric drawings and those kinds of things, and it really boosted my confidence in my ability to be a game designer and make sure people understand what's in my brain.
So you as a game designer are then talking to your programmer to say, this is what, you're basically like the artist, the mastermind, but he's a painter.
Yeah, yeah, it's similar. A painter, programmer, 3D modeler, all of those people would ask me about the documentation that I've created or what's in my brain. A lot of people, that's why one of the slides said that I was the glue as a game designer, is because everybody would have to reference me and come to me and ask me about what I had in mind for certain things. And so, yeah. Yes?
I know the first year they do like the foundation, all that courses and stuff.
Yeah.
Within the game design curriculum, when you start specifying, is there like specific game design? Like, okay, I'm gonna be more towards like the scripting side or like the narrative side or like this that.
So one of my sub focuses is project leadership. I really like being in charge, and I like making the decisions. I easily disappointed in a lot of the games that I play currently, and that's probably because I wasn't the leader of that project. But that was mostly a joke. So, yeah, I don't know. You can have your focuses, you can have your preferences of things that you really enjoy, and that will make you stronger as a developer, and it also makes you unique. Starting out in the industry, most likely, even as a game designer, you're going to focus on different aspects of besides game design. You're going to wear several hats. This is something that a lot of the instructors like to tell us here. As a game designer, I may be the only scripter. And so this school teaches you the basic skills of those things so you can learn and teach yourself after, when you've graduated here. And we do have basic scripting classes to start you out. I didn't know any scripting when I started here. I'm a master's level student. I've only been here for 2 years. The school teaches you scripting at a very basic level. The teachers are very, very, very passionate about making sure that you understand. And scripting is intimidating. A lot of people's faces drop with fear. They go white and they want to like leave because we talk about scripting as a requirement, and they almost hold your hand through the process, and so it's really important. I was intimidated by it and it worked out. So yeah. Yes.
So people who want to go into like more like drawing side of like game depth, if you're not like a great drawer like in general, are they going to teach you like the main things of how to be a great drawer, like up to the point of like realistic drawings?
Yes. As a game designer, maybe not focusing super harshly on realistic drawings, just the ability to accurately communicate. Something that they teach us as game designers is to focus on creating the paperwork in a way that we don't have to be there to explain it. When the rest of the team comes to the paperwork and they look at the game design documents, you should not have to be there. one really cool project we got to work on is a board game. And when we were doing that, our rule book that we create for that board game has to play completely smoothly for 30 minutes without us being there. We get to watch. We get to watch them mess up our game and get really frustrated about how poorly we created these rules. So a lot of lessons learned from that. I still have the board game. I plan to keep on working on it. Side note, I got to pitch it to Unreal. The board game was inspired by Fortnite, and they said they would get back to me about merchandising and licensing, which is a pretty big deal. So I'm excited about that. One more question. Yes?
Okay, so for the area that I was interested in was for the level design. So basically it's like for the in the master's program, so this would basically entail, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My mind just went completely blank.
So I'm going to infer that maybe you are asking about level design aspect as a game designer.
Yes.
And kind of wondering how that plays in, maybe.
Yeah.
So they teach us level design. I mentioned the window in that level there. Something that one of the best instructors, in my opinion, here has mentioned is his name is Jason Wiesner, by the way. He is a game design instructor, and something that he likes to talk about is putting lights in a far off distance or unique shapes or something. And that is an example of level design. We want to focus on making sure that the player can run through a scene very smoothly and make sure they're not tripping over things, make sure it feels fluid. And we have a lot of opportunities like that to explore our skills in making game levels fun and immersive.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. There are games on the computers that you guys can check out. But if not, I am here. You can ask me questions. I also provided my email, and I can also give it to you individually if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, additionally, if you have any questions about just the school